Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is the second week of Wednesdays with Wilmore. Today's topic is the similarities of Egypt and America. Egypt is an amazing place, and when we depict the city and its history, we see how much it stands out from other original societies. It harvested one of the first civilizations of the world, and we typically think of Egypt as something that could never be duplicated, kind of like a Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan of geography. But what if I told you that almost everything you see in Egypt is in the Americas? And if this is true, then what does that say about the first people who were here in America? Well, let's look at the facts. Let's begin with the knowledge of the Nile. In Egypt, we see that the Nile divides the land into two sections. The left side consists of more than 50% of the land, while the right side consists of less than 50% of the land. The greatest civilization that ever walked this earth, which is the Nile Valley civilization, completely thrived off of this one source. As we see in America, there's another water resource that was very important to the early civilization, which was the Mississippi River, in which the Mississippi culture thrived off of. The Mississippi River also divides America into two sections, leaving more than 50% of the land to the left and less than 50% of the land to the right. They both also have a city named Memphis that lands right off of each other as well. This was the first major reference of Egypt in America. On top of that, southern Illinois is actually sometimes called Little Egypt, and if you look on this exotic map, you'll see some of the same city names in America that you see in other places in the world. Let's talk about the lost ancient Egyptian city that was found in the Grand Canyon. The Egyptians came to the Grand Canyon around 1700 BC, and that's when they began to build these tunnel cities. This was estimated through carbon dating of the mummy bones, which the oldest one was dated around 600 BC. While determining where to settle, they would select overhangs so that the kings could survey farming and mining that was going on the lower levels of the Grand Canyon. All of these facts prove that not only were we here in America way before Columbus, but there were civilizations already established in America as well. So why do we continue to regurgitate that same lame story that all black folk were transported from Africa to America? Why can't we see that we were here already? Even the Olmecs came before Columbus, and they settled down around where Veracruz is in Mexico. We was all through this area, yet all they want to teach us is Columbus. And I know a lot of people will start talking about Moorish labeling, claiming nationality, and this is really where it gets tricky, because these are all good points when people talk about the liberation of black people. But the argument can really go both ways. But we aren't and don't claim our land. We got black folk that are still trying to run back to Africa. The Back to Africa movement wasn't even originally started by a black man. Garvey, he was the head of it, but the idea was not thrown out there by Garvey. Not all blacks came from America, and I'm not saying that the slave trade didn't happen either. I'm just saying it's over exaggerated, and it was physically impossible to do at the numbers that they documented at. 10 to 12 million is not possible. It's not. But that Back to Africa movement is in connection with getting blacks to give up their indigenous rights to the land. America is ours, and in all actuality, if you really want to get technical, the world is ours. We are a global people. You understand what I'm saying? There are more pyramids in the Americas than in any other place in the world, but people only know about the ones in Egypt. Let these white folk trick us into thinking that we all came from Africa, and we lose our indigenous rights when we preach that word. We are the aborigines of this USA land, and until people understand that, we will continue to give up our rights. But when I say that this argument can go both ways, it's because if black people are still being killed in broad daylight, while being recorded, while being 100% submissive, and still not getting justice, why would claiming your nationality as an aborigine work? It wouldn't. Sometimes we have to overstand in order to actually get this knowledge, brothers and sisters. It's your choice to whether you want to take this knowledge and run with it, but I'm only here to make you think. Thank you.